For a long time, Donald Trump wanted the Nobel Peace Prize, and he did not want it quietly. He almost mounted a public campaign for it. He repeatedly claimed that he had ended wars, that he deserved the prize, and that if Nobel Committee did not give it to him, then something was wrong with the Nobel Committee. What was interesting was where he directed his anger. He blamed Norway, but the Norwegian government had to clarify that the Nobel Peace Prize is not awarded by the Norwegian government. It is awarded by an independent Nobel Committee. And this difference is important because the Nobel Peace Prize works as what researchers call a third-party signal. It does not come from your own government. It does not come from your ally. It does not come from a country that wants something from you. It comes from an independent body, and that is why it carries so much weight. Recently, there has been a lot of talk about Prime Minister Modi competing with Trump for international honors. But there is a crucial difference. What Trump wanted was a third-party signal. What Modi has mostly been receiving are second-party signals. A second-party signal is when your partner, ally, customer, or beneficiary praises you. It is a weaker signal because the award giver is not fully independent of you. They may be your strategic partner, they may be receiving credit from you, they may want market access, development support, or simply a closer relationship with you. This is similar to the problem Amazon had with customer reviews. A 5-star review is useful only if we believe the customer is real and independent. But for a long time, sellers could buy reviews, so fake reviews became a problem. That is why Amazon created mechanisms like verified purchase badges to show that a customer actually bought the product. In other words, even second-party signals need verification. Otherwise, they start looking like something bought by the first party. And the weakest signal is the first-party signal. That is basically your own advertising. It is when you praise yourself or when institutions dependent on your power praises you. And PM Modi and before that CM Modi knew that. He has previously turned down doctorates from Indian universities because they are dependent on his government. That is why he goes for these international honors, because they are second-party signals. They may work well for domestic optics. They may look good on television. They may create headlines saying that the world is honoring India. But internationally, they do not amount to much. Their value depends on who's giving the award, how independent that country is, and what that country is receiving from India around the same time. I've analyzed the awards and honors since 2019. In the last few years, when Prime Minister Modi received honors from larger and more powerful countries, the exchange often looked more reciprocal. There was interest on both sides. But more recently, many of these honors have come from smaller states and global south countries, where the material flow appears more one-sided. India gives credit lines, infrastructure projects, development support, market access, or diplomatic backing. The host country gives symbolic recognition. In simple terms, India may be paying a very high price for a relatively weak signal. The award itself costs the host country almost nothing. The recent Seychelles award has spelling mistakes, which means they don't really give a shit about the award. But if that symbolic gesture helps unlock real material gains from India, then it becomes a very smart bargain for them. The only real cost for the host country is reputational. If the award appears too obviously political, other countries may stop taking it seriously. And if the person being honored later does something dishonorable, the award reflects poorly on the institution that awarded it. This is why even the Nobel Committee faced pressure after Aung San Suu Kyi's role during the Rohingya crisis came under global criticism. The Nobel Peace Prize could not be revoked, But the controversy still created a legitimacy problem. The committee had to explain that the prize had been awarded for her past democratic struggle, and it was up to her to maintain her reputation after receiving it. And many of the second party signals were actually stripped away from her. The larger point is that even a strong third party signal can come under pressure if the honored person later damages the moral meaning of the prize. So imagine how much weaker second party signals are, especially when they come from countries that are also seeking benefits from India. So even if 200 countries give PM Modi their highest civilian awards individually, that would still not add up to the credibility of one strong third-party signal like the Nobel Peace Prize. Unfortunately, quantity does not replace independence. Second-party signals are simply less trustworthy than third-party signals. So this growing pattern of recognition from smaller countries should not be read as evidence of India's growing global status. It may also reveal something more uncomfortable, that the countries have learned that personal recognition costs very little and gets them a lot in return. This helps them unlock Indian credit, aid, infrastructure projects, or market access. Then it is a very efficient bargain for the host country. It may be a sign that other countries have found a cheap way to flatter us. Thank you for joining me on Devil Wears Data, and I'll see you next time with another insightful video.